before. So unit conversions. Some of you were not here yesterday. If we're talking about 34 miles per gallon, okay, how would you write that? Maybe in fraction form. 34 miles per gallon. How would you write that? Thirty-four over 1. And what about the units? Because the units are really important. Okay, so 34 miles per 1 gallon. I mean, that's what it tells you, right? This is your compact car. 34 miles per gallon. And your hybrid is going to get 54 miles per gallon. Or do we replace our sport utility vehicle that gets 18 miles per gallon with a sedan that gets 28 miles per gallon? Or do they both say the same? It says, if you're stuck on how to start, figure out how many gallons it takes for each vehicle to go 100 miles. Okay? Remember, these are kind of unit conversions, meaning they are equivalent. 1 gallon gets you 34 miles. Unit conversions. Okay? Which means you can put them as they are, or you could flip it, right? 1 gallon is the same as being able to take you 34 miles for that car. So I want you to work with a partner. It says if you're stuck on how to start, figure out how many gallons it takes for each vehicle to go 100 miles. How many vehicles are we talking about here? 4. Yeah, you're talking about 2 different vehicles here and 2 different vehicles here. So how many gallons does it take for each vehicle to go 100 miles? All right? So find a partner, find a frenemy, unless you want to work by yourself. Talk it out, okay? I'm not going to give a whole lot of stuff here. There's not a big deal. I want you to be trying to figure some of this out, okay? Arturo wasn't here yesterday. Anybody else not here yesterday? That's what I just said. All right. So get with a partner, talk it out, see what you can come up with, okay? Okay, so we have 4 vehicles and a choice of 2 for each problem. We need to figure out which is going to help us save more fuel by replacing a compact car that gets 34 miles per gallon with a hybrid that gets 54, or is replacing a sports utility vehicle that gets 18 with a sedan that gets 28. So it's pretty obvious it's going to be better either way, but which one is going to save more fuel? So, anybody have an answer? Jay, what do you think? Did you check with anyone? Did you talk with anyone? I'm just asking. Okay, all right.
Was I supposed to divide each miles per gallon with 100?
Maybe. Okay. So he said, and you're getting that because it said if you're stuck, figure out how many gallons it takes for a vehicle to go 100 miles, right? So let's say we're starting with the compact car. Let's call that CC. CC. If I want to go 100 miles, okay, for let's say 1 trip, and I don't need to even put that trip there, how could I figure out how many gallons of gasoline I would use? What could I multiply this by as an equivalent conversion or a unit conversion? I said unit. Did I? I don't think I used unit yesterday. Did I say equivalent? I said equivalent conversion, didn't I, yesterday? It is a unit version or conversion because it is 1 gallon, so that's 1 unit. But maybe it would be better to say I already lost what I said before. What did I say? Equivalent. Yes. Equivalent conversion. So what do we know that's equivalent here? That we get 34 miles with 1 gallon of gas, right? Since I have miles here in my numerator, where should I put the miles here that my compact car gets? Down in the denominator, right? So this is going to be miles, and I get 34 miles for every 1 gallon of gas, right? Is everybody with me? Okay, so then my miles are going to cancel out, and I have, as I multiply, 100 divided by 34, and my answer is going to be in gallons. So what is 100 divided by 34? 2.94 what? Gallons. So for my little compact car to go 100 miles, it's going to it's going to take me 2.94 gallons of gasoline. All right? That's for my compact car. Okay? Now, let's get to the hybrid. The hybrid gets 54 miles per gallon. How would I figure out how many gallons it takes for the hybrid to go 100 miles? Okay, so yes, 100 miles, you can start with that in your one trip if you want, times your equivalent conversion is 54 miles per gallon, so that's 54 miles out of 1 gallon of gasoline, and when you do that, your miles cancel out, and 100 divided by 54 gives 1.85 gallons of gasoline. They both went 100 miles, right? But obviously, the hybrid did not use as much gasoline. How could I tell how much better it did? What did you say? Yeah, subtracting. And you said subtracting too. I just didn't hear what you said. And so 2.94 minus 1.85 gives what kind of a difference? Arturo, you're leaving me hanging. You said subtract, and then you... At all? What is it, 1.09? So we saved 1.09 gallons of gasoline for every 100 miles. Okay? Any questions about that? All right, now that we know that, can you go ahead and figure out the next two? All right, so please do that. Unless you already did. Anybody already do that? Okay, figure out how to do it now since we did the first two. So you would take what? Everybody needs to be doing this in their book. You would take what? 100 miles and divide it by what? 18. And that's for which car? This is for the SUV. And somebody else, if I take 100 miles and divide it by 18, how many gallons of gas is that going to use? Who haven't I talked to? Quran. Actually, I was thinking Quran before you said that, but 100 divided by 18. And why are we doing that? Because we would have taken 100 miles in one trip times the 18 miles for the 1 gallon of gasoline. All right, and what do we get? What did you get? 5.5, and that is gallons of gasoline, right? SUV. That is a gas hog, right? Okay. And then we have a sedan. We're still driving that sedan 100 miles divided by the number of miles per gallon, which is 28. 100 divided by 28, what do we get? 3.57. So how do I figure out how much better the sedan is than the SUV? Subtract. Yes. So 5.5 for the SUV minus 3.57 gives, how about somebody other than Nehemiah? What is it? 1.98 gallons. Okay, for every 100 miles. Okay, so what is it we're comparing or looking at? Which one saves more fuel? So which one is the better saving amount of fuel? If we save 1.98 gallons or if we save 1.09 gallons? 1.98, you want to save the most, right? So this you save a whole lot more. They don't save the same amount, that's for sure. And yes, so replacing our SUV with a sedan is actually going to be the better choice for saving our miles, saving our gas. Could you do this at home? No? I think the hard part would be figuring out how many miles per gallon your vehicle would go, because it goes and takes different amounts of gas depending if you're on a highway versus in town. But you maybe could look at your manufacturer's, I don't know, what do they call that, book? It might tell you. Okay? Any questions on how we would do that? All right. So now, I don't know about that. I don't think we're on to 3.2 yet. I think we're still on homework 3.1. But page 122. Page 122. We got some time left here. So, how many of you are really good when it comes to measuring? You don't have 122? Wow. Do you have one that has a ruler on it like this? Anywhere? Nowhere? Oh my gosh. Huh. And what is this page right here? 114, 115. Okay. It says, so let's go to page 115. So you guys don't have that, huh? Right, but 115 is that blank page. So what I'm telling you is go to that blank page and I'm going to give you a ruler and I want you to label, oh, I moved the rulers. So the main pencils staplers, rulers, erasers, pencil sharpener is in the back. Up here, I have still highlighters, colored pencils, glue sticks, which we don't use quite as much. And if we really are going to use something, I usually try to put it over here. But we are going to take a look at these rulers. How many of you are really, you're pretty good at understanding how to measure things with a ruler? I mean, it's kind of a lost, I don't want to say art. It is kind of though. I mean, people do not know how to measure. I mean, what is? Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's pretty. I mean, it's like I have a good friend. Never learned because she just had digital clock all the time. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Well, even when I put this up here, sometimes they're like, I'm like, really? I don't know. All right, so on this last blank page of your book, I want you to copy down that picture up there where you have 0 at the left end, you have 1 at the far right end, you have a middle median point, okay? Put that in and see if you can label all of these individual dashes, okay? So, does anyone know how many, okay, now I have to think about this. How many spaces there are from here to here? What? This is your pencil? You should go get one from the back. Did you just not hear what I just said? I just said I need everything.
I'm sorry.
So how many spaces are there from 0 to 1?
16.
There are 16. Yes. So notice some of these marks are the same length. Okay, not all of them. And but yes, each space, like from here to here and here to here, is 1/16 of an inch. 1/16. Okay, so this would be 1/16. This would be 2/16. But instead of 2/16, that would simplify to 1/8. Okay, then you go back over here. That is how many 16ths here? 3/16. And when you get to the next one, which is 4/16, that one simplifies to, what does 4/16 simplify to be? 1/4. Okay? So see if you can put the simplified amount on each of these dashes, each of these markings. Okay? See if you can do that, just based on what I said. So write down what the amount is for each one of those markings. Like if you had something that you measured and went from the end here, from 0 to this marking, how long would that object be? Write that down. If you had something that went from here to here, what is that length? Okay. See if you can write all those down. Numbers. I need a number. Go get a pencil back here. Come with your own pencil. Who else? Rodney, I have yours, but I haven't graded it yet. Cameron, I have yours. Haven't graded it yet. Jaden, I have yours. Haven't graded it. Karan, have you submitted to me at all? Okay, just double checking so I don't miss. Try to get it into me soon, okay? Or come tomorrow night after school. Get some help, get it done. Abdullah, you didn't submit it yet, did you? Okay. I know you're working on it. To Marianne. I haven't looked at your new one yet. Okay. All right, how are we doing? So should we call you Bob the Carpenter, or should we not have you measure when it comes to our carpet or our finished trim? All right, so we said there were 16 spaces, right? In between here. So if I am going to this first mark, that is going to be what length? 1/16. And I think I said that before. Now, notice all of these that have that same length coming down, those are all 16ths. Okay? So, 2, 3, 4. We can go and write those down. So if I skip one, this would be 3/16, right? This would be 2, 3, 4, 5. And you always want to put it in simplest form. This would be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay? So basically, all the odd numbers, as you count over 16, those are all 16ths, right? So what happens when I get over here to this slightly longer mark? Yes, it would be 2/16, but we know that will simplify to be what? 1/8. So that means all these marks that have the same lengths are eighths. So that is 1/8. This would be 2/8. This would be 3/8. Oh, I don't want to do 2/8 though, do I? I could. I mean, it is an eighth, but yes, that is going to get simplified. So 1/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8. So basically, anytime you have an odd number, okay, you can write that as you're counting it as an eighth. If you go to the next largest dash, which is right here, notice that is the, it's not the median. It would be the quartile 1, kind of, between 0 and the median, which is the middle. And that would be 4/16, which simplifies to 2/8, which simplifies to 1/4. So everything that has that length of a dash is a fourth. So we have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. And finally, we get to our largest length down, which is right here, and that would be 4/8, which reduces to 1/2. Okay? So those are the markings. Those are the markings of a ruler, and it's very important that you can measure to each spot and know what that is. All right? So please keep the rulers on the desk, keep the calculators on the desk. Make sure you are working on 3-1. 3-1 is the first homework assignment of this chapter, and you should have that done by Thursday. So if you haven't done your project, definitely get the project done first. Then let's be working on this homework assignment, okay? All right. That's all we have for the good of the cause for today.